Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to show you how to crochet this top. The full written pattern is available for purchase and you can click the link in the description box to get your own copy. And now these are the materials you're going to need to make your top. And now let's get started on working on the top. Pause this video so you can read the instructions on the screen. To begin your lace section, you are going to grab your smaller hook size and make a chain in the multiples of 6 plus 4 till you reach the width you need for your panel. I have 22 chains. I'm going to switch to the larger hook size. Now you're going to start your first row by skipping the first chain on your hook and going to the second chain. Make a single crochet into the second chain from your hook, and into every chain make a single crochet, and I'll meet you once I'm done. At the end of your row, you should have one stitch less than what you initially chained, and now you're going to start the second row. To begin the second row, you can either choose to chain 2, which will count as a double crochet, or use the alternate double crochet method. I'm going to be using the alternate double crochet for this pattern. So into the first stitch, you're going to insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops. Into that stitch right there, you're going to insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops. And now this is a double crochet. This counts as a double crochet. Into the next stitch, you're going to yarn over and make a V stitch. So double crochet, chain 2, yarn over into the same stitch, double crochet, and you're done with your V stitch. So you're going to yarn over, skip the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, go into the third and make a puff stitch. So pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over the second time, pull up a loop, yarn over the third time, pull up a loop, and you should have 7 loops on your hook. You're going to pull through all 7 loops, chain 1 to secure, yarn over, skip the next 2 stitches, go into the third, work your V stitch into the third stitch, and now you're going to yarn over, skip the next 2 stitches, work a puff stitch into the third stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over the third time, and pull up a loop, pull through all 7 loops, chain 1 to secure. You're going to repeat this pattern all the way to the end. After your last V stitch, you should have 1 stitch left. You're going to work a double crochet into the last stitch, and you're done with your second row. Now to begin the third row, you're going to turn your work, make a alternate double crochet into the first stitch, and you're going to yarn over into this chain 2 space of the previous V stitch. You're going to make a puff stitch there into the chain 2 space, and you're going to chain 1 to secure, yarn over, and into the chain 1 space of the previous puff stitch you're going to make a V stitch, and you're going to keep alternating this. Work a puff stitch into the chain 2 space of every V stitch, and work a V stitch into the chain 1 space of every puff stitch, and I'll meet you once I'm done. After your last puff stitch, you're going to yarn over and work a double crochet into the last stitch, and you're done with your third row. Now to begin the fourth row, you're going to make an alternate double crochet into the very first stitch, and as you did in previous row, you're going to make a V stitch into the chain 1 space of the previous puff stitch, chain 2, and into the chain 2 space of the previous V stitch you're going to make a puff stitch, and you're going to keep alternating this all the way to the end of the row. At the end of the row, you're going to finish off with a double crochet into the last stitch, and you're done with your fourth row. So you're going to keep on repeating rows 3 and 4 till you reach the length you need for your lace section, and make sure to end on a row 4. So once you've reached the length you need for your lace section, you're going to switch from your larger hook size to a smaller hook size, and you're going to finish off the section with a row of single crochet. So now turn your work and you're going to chain 1. Now you're going to make a single crochet into the first stitch, and into the next stitch make 1 single crochet, and into the chain 2 space you're going to make 2 single crochets, and into the next stitch you make 1 single crochet. When you reach the first stitch, the chain 1 of the puff stitch, you're going to make 1 single crochet. You're going to keep on repeating that. Make 1 single crochet into every stitch and every chain 1 space, and make 2 single crochets into every chain 2 space. Once you've completed a single crochet row, you're going to count your stitches, and you find out that the amount of stitches you have has increased by 3. So initially I had 21 stitches, now I have 24 stitches. Now that you're done, you're going to turn your work and you're going to start the middle section. To begin the first row of the middle section, you can either choose to use a regular double crochet or a link double crochet, but I'm going to use a link double crochet for this pattern. So chain 2, 1, 2, and into the second chain from the hook, you're going to insert your hook, and you're going to insert your hook into the first stitch and pull through 2 loops. Oh no. And you're done with your first link double crochet. To make your second link double crochet, you're going to insert your hook into the loop that was created here, and into the second stitch you're going to insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. You made your second link double crochet. I'll repeat that again. Into the loop created here, insert your hook, pull up a loop into the third stitch, pull up a loop, pull up 2 through, pull through 2, and now you're going to make a link double crochet into the next 3 stitches. Once you have 6 link double crochet, you're going to chain 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and now you're going to slip stitch to the last link double crochet. So to do that, you're going to go into the front loop, and into this loop on the post you're going to go into there, and you're going to yarn over, pull through, and make your slip stitch, and you're done. So to continue the pattern, you're going to make a link double crochet into the next 6 stitches. Once you have 6 link double crochets, you're going to chain 9, and once you've chained 9, you're going to slip stitch into the last stitch. So go into the front loop and into that loop on the post and make your slip stitch, and you're going to continue the pattern all the way till you have 6 stitches left, and I'll meet you when I'm done. So after making your last loop, you should have 6 stitches left. You're just going to work link double crochet into the last 6 stitches. So once you're done with this row, you're going to turn your work, and to continue the second row, you're going to chain 1. And now you can either choose to make a normal single crochet, but for this pattern I'll be making an extended single crochet. So into this first stitch, you're going to insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 1 loop, then pull through 2 loops. You've made your first extended single crochets. Go into the next stitch, make your extended single crochet. You're going to keep on doing this all the way to the end of your work. So remember, when you get to this point where your loop is, don't forget to work into the stitch here and into the stitch here. After this row, count your stitches to make sure you have not made any decrease. And also, whenever you make this row, try to push your loops forward. That way you'll be able to see the stitches more clearly. So now you're going to repeat your first and second row till you are about 1 inch away from the length you need for your middle section, that is your measurement D. So I forgot to mention that you have to end on a row 2, which is a single crochet row. So once you have about 1 inch left, you're going to just turn your work, and now you're going to make your link double crochet into every stitch. So you're not going to be creating any loops for this row. Once you're done with your link double crochet row, the next thing is to link your loops. So you can choose to grab your bigger hook size, and into the first loop you made, you're going to insert your hook, go into the second loop you made, and pull through, repeat, pull through. Then go ahead to the second row and continue linking your loops. So once you've linked your loops, you're going to make a single crochet row that will kind of pin this last loop down. To do that, you're going to turn your work and you're going to chain one. So you're going to work extended single crochet into the next 5 stitches. Now once you have your 5 extended single crochets, you are going to make your 6th one. But before you make your 6th one, you're going to insert your hook into the loop just like this, and going through this last loop of the chain you made like this, you're going to pull up your loop and make your extended single crochets. So basically you're pinning it down with this last single crochet. So repeat again by making 5 extended single crochets, and you're going to join the loop. So at the 6th one, you're just going to insert your hook into the 6th stitch, and into that loop you're going to insert your hook through there, pull up a loop, pull through one and pull through two. So continue that all the way to the end and make extended single crochets into your last 6 stitches, and you're done with your middle section. So to start your shoulder section, you want to make a row of decrease, and basically you're going to just decrease 1 stitch so that your amount of stitches you have would be in an odd number. So you're going to chain 1 and you're going to work an extended single crochet to the first stitch, and you can basically decrease anywhere. I prefer to make my decrease at the center, so I'll meet you once I reach the center. So now I've reached the center. I'm just going to make my decrease into these 2 stitches, and to do that I'm going to just insert my hook just like this to the first stitch, and in the second stitch I'm going to insert my hook. I'm going to pull through the 2 loops, and then I'm going to pull through 2, and now I'm just going to make the extended single crochet for the rest of this row. And now I'm done with the decrease row. So once you've done your decrease row, the next thing is to start the shoulder area. And to begin the shoulder area, you have to make the armhole shaping. So I'm going to put the instructions on the screen so you can pause this video right now. So as you can see, I've placed my stitch markers. Because I'm skipping 6 stitches, I placed my stitch marker at the 6th stitch at each end. So now I want to start the first row of the shoulder shaping. And to start the first row of the shoulder shaping, you have to calculate how wide you want your keyhole area to be. So I'm going to put the instructions on the screen. So I'm just going to explain basically what we're going to be doing. From this point to this point where the stitch markers are, I have 65 stitches. And to make my own keyhole section, I am going to work 18 double crochets, and then I'm going to chain 29 stitches, skip 29 stitches, and work 18 double crochets into the last 18 stitches. And you can just input your own stitch count. And now we're going to start working on the first row. So to work the first row, you're going to chain 1, and you're going to make slip stitches into every stitch till you reach your stitch marker. And into the stitch where your stitch marker is, you're just going to work your slip stitch. And now you're going to chain 1, and this does not count as a stitch. So I'm going to start working 1 double crochet into the next 18 stitches. So you're going to input your own values, and I'll meet you once I'm done. So I have 18 double crochets. Now I'm going to chain 29. So you're going to make a chain based on your own values. And now I have 29 chains. I'm going to skip 29 stitches, and I'm going to yarn over and work into the next 18 stitches. So like always, input your own values. So after making your required number of double crochets, you're going to turn your work and you're going to start the second row. So to begin the second row, you're going to work a alternate double crochet into the first stitch, or you can make a chain 2. And now you're going to chain 1, skip the next double crochet going to the next, chain 1, skip the next stitch going to the next, and you're going to repeat this chain 1 skip 1 pattern all the way till you get to the end. Remember to work into these chains too. So these chains, each chain counts as 1 stitch. So continue your pattern and I'll meet you once I'm done. So you're going to chain one, skip the next stitch, and go into the last double crochet stitch and make a double crochet. Now you're going to turn your work to begin your third row, and you're going to make your alternate double crochet into the first stitch. Then you're going to make a double crochet into the chain one space, chain one, skip the stitch, make double crochet and work a double crochet into the chain one space, and you're going to repeat that pattern all the way to the end. And at the end you're going to just skip the double crochet, work into the chain one space, and finish off with a double crochet into the last stitch, and you're done with this row. So to begin the fourth row, you're just going to make your alternate double crochet into the first stitch. Now since you have a double crochet here, you're going to chain one, skip the double crochet, going to those chain one space, chain one, skip double crochet, going to the chain one space, and you're going to repeat this all the way till the end. And at the end you're going to just chain one, skip this, take out to the last double crochet, and go into the last double crochet from the previous round and make a double crochet. And now you're going to repeat rows 3 and 4 till you about 2 to 3 inches away from the length you need from your shoulder for your shoulder area. So I have about 3.5 inches left till I reach the length I need for my shoulder area. So currently this point is about 2.5 inches long. So now I want to start working on the shoulder strap. So I'm going to start with the first shoulder strap. So I ended on a row 3. I'm going to make the alternate double crochet, and I'm going to chain one. I kind of want the straps to be not too thick and not too thin, so I think about 1.5 inches for the width is enough. So I'm going to keep on working my mesh stitch until I feel like it's perfect. I guess this is enough, so I'm going to just continue. I'm going to turn my work and start the second row, and I'm going to continue working this mesh stitch all the way till I have like the length I need complete. Currently this is about 5.5 inches. I've decided to finish the last row with a double crochet into every stitch, so this way I feel like it's going to be easier when I'm trying to seam the shoulder panel, the back and the front panel together. So I'm going to work the alternate double crochet into the first stitch, and I'm just going to work a double crochet into every chain space and every double crochet stitch, and this is how it looks like. So now you're just going to go ahead and repeat the same thing for the other strap. Make sure you do the same exact amount of rows, and I will see you so you can start the back panel. That's how your shoulder strap should look like. I left a long tail of yarn just so I could use it to weave to join the shoulder strap to the back. Now I'm going to start working on the back panel. So you're going to start the back panel by following the instructions for the lace section just like you did for the front panel. And the difference between the middle section of the front back panel and the front panel is that for the front panel we have a kind of loop that we created, but for the back panel we're not making any loops. So you're going to start the first row by chaining 2, 1, 2, and you're going to just work your link double crochet into every stitch. And once you have your first row of link double crochet, you're going to turn your work and chain 1. You're going to begin the second row by making extended single crochets into every stitch to the end. So once you're done with your second row, you're going to just turn your work, and you're going to repeat rows 1 and 2 till you have the same number of rows as you did for the middle section of the front panel. So once you're done with the middle section for the back panel, you're going to start to the shoulder area, and just like you did for the front panel, before you start the armhole shaping, you're going to make a row of decrease where you decrease 1 stitch at the center. So go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to use this sample to explain how to make your shoulder area for the back panel. So just like we did for the front panel, where you inserted the stitch markers to indicate the stitches you're going to skip, I just put my stitch marker on the 4th stitch just for like to demonstrate. Now you're going to turn your work and you're going to make slip stitches till you reach the stitch marker. And once you reach the stitch marker, you're going to chain 1, and this does not count as a stitch, and you're going to just make double crochets into every stitch till you reach the stitch marker at the other side. So unlike the front panel where we made a chain like this, we're not going to be making any chain. You're just going to be working the first row in double crochets all the way into the stitch before the stitch marker. You're going to work your final double crochet, and now you're just going to work your mesh stitch. So you're going to start with your row 2, and then your row 3 and your row 4, and you're going to keep working row 3 and row 4 till you have a length that you need. And at the final row, like when you're almost at the length you need, so you're going to work a double crochet into every stitch and every chain 1 space for the final row of your back panel. And you need to make sure that the amount of rows you have is equal to the amount of rows you did for the front panel. Next thing to do is to seam. So when you're seaming, the first thing is to seam the shoulders, and you're also going to seam the side. So once you've made sure that the wrong side is facing out, you're just going to seam in any way you want. I'm going to be using the yarn needle. So when I make my seams at the shoulders, most times I like to go into the stitch, like in between those V stitches, and insert my needle through those posts. So I feel like this way it's going to make the seams really firm. So for the side seams, I'm going to use the slip stitch join to join the side, just because I feel like it's going to hold it better. So you're going to start from the middle section, insert your yarn or your hook, and you're going to just keep on joining all the way to the end. Once you're done with seaming, you're going to turn your work to the right side, and now we're going to start working the edging. At the neckline edging, you're just going to turn your work and you're going to attach your yarn to the back. And once you attach your yarn, you're basically just going to be working 1 single crochet into every double crochet stitch. And once you get to the post, to the strap area, you're going to be working 2 single crochets into every double crochet post. And then when you get to this mesh stitch, you're going to make 1 single crochet into every chain 1 space and 1 single crochet into every double crochet. And you're going to continue that till you get to the other strap and make 2 single crochets into every double crochet post. And once you get to the back, you make 1 single crochet into every stitch and fasten off. So your top should look something like this. If you enjoyed today's tutorial, let me know in the comment section. You can always subscribe or follow me on social so you'll be notified or giving updates whenever I release a new design or a pattern. So that's it for today. See you in the next video.